Oh my god! Floor. Whoa!
At 3 a.m. in Erie, Pennsylvania, Jorge Cruz and his family are asleep when their bedroom door suddenly slams shut. The noise wakes Jorge, but he ignores it and goes back to sleep. The next day, he checks the baby monitor footage, and what he sees completely shocks him. Before the bedroom door shuts, there is a heavy knocking sound. Moments later, a dark figure shows up near the baby's crib, as if it is staring at the child while they sleep. The figure stretches an arm toward the crib and even shifts a stuffed toy, then suddenly disappears. Jorge thinks their home might be haunted by something evil. Do you think they caught real paranormal activity? On March 8, 2023, Casey Lee was at home with her family when her son suddenly came running out of the hallway, trying to get his dad's attention. He kept pointing and saying that his father needed to come see something right away.
International. That looks good though, dude. We gotta try that. Alright, start this video. Break the ice. We're gonna break the rice. Slow down, some of the rice. Oh,
No, that's sick!
that was insane!
Boy, that's amazing!
Wow! Okay, let's go!
That's amazing.
That feels so trippy too.
Yeah,
Oh, you're righteous.
down your oil.
But I can't grab all these. I'm doing it.
What?
Oh, yeah. That's so satisfying.
Yeah, that is. Like
Ghost?
a ghost? That looks amazing. Where?
That took.
Fuck that shit. Look at who? What ghost? Oh, what's that? No.
What does the ghost look like? Like that? Where is he? And where? Here? Further? Is he here? In front of me? Over there? Where? Which way? In that room? Yeah, I'm not going in there. No, I don't know. Maybe you do whatever you want, bud. Want me to turn the light on in the hallway? Huh? There's no ghost in there? Not anymore because the light's on? Someone's on in there? It's a ghost? Is it a nice ghost? Friendly ghost? Oh, do what? Am I fighting it? Fight it? I think we're good. Is it a big ghost or a little ghost? A big ghost? Is it a boy ghost or a girl ghost? Big ghost. Okay. We're almost there.
The boy looked way too serious for them to ignore him. Casey says this was not the first time he claimed to notice something others could not. A few months earlier, he told her that someone was sitting near the shoe rack. They assumed it was just his imagination until the motion sensor light by the rack turned on by itself, and they heard something slide across the floor exactly where he had pointed. After that, they stopped dismissing him so quickly. That is why this recent moment is worrying them more than they expected. Casey also says that the very next day after the video was taken, both of their dogs began barking aggressively at the same corner of the house, at the end of the hallway where her son kept looking. Whatever the child saw, the dogs seemed to notice something as well. Until Casey shares more information, this case is still unexplained. A man went into his outdoor toilet at night and locked the door. A few seconds later, he heard heavy footsteps coming from outside. The man stayed inside, doing his best to remain calm. How he managed to leave safely was never explained. Today, scary or intense moments can be recorded instantly and shared just as fast. One example was posted in November 2016 by a YouTuber called Savage Squad 1. In the video description, he says he did not record everything because he was running, and it quickly becomes clear why. The clip starts in the middle of the situation, already full of tension. A group of teenage boys from the Appalachian area are hanging out at a local park, sitting on top of playground equipment. What begins as a normal hangout takes a bad turn when an adult woman walks up to them, visibly angry and ready to argue. Based on the video's context, one of the boys had made a rude comment that pushed her to react. They exchange words, though not all of it is caught on camera. At one point, the boy says something about how he was raised, possibly joking or making fun of his own background. The woman focuses on that remark and responds with a disturbing warning instead of calming the situation down.
Fine. Are you gonna stay up there? God, you were raised pretty bad, weren't you?
I don't think so.
I would think so. Yeah, so remember that people carry knives?
I didn't.
And when you keep talking about your own parents?
She warns the boys that people carry knives, then proves it by pulling out a small switchblade and showing it. At that point, the threat becomes real. The video ends soon after, so there's no clear ending, but the uploader says the boys ran as soon as they saw the knife. Given the situation, that reaction makes sense. What makes this disturbing isn't just the knife. It's how fast a verbal argument turned serious. A short exchange between strangers escalated the moment a weapon appeared, raising the danger instantly. Do you think the woman was right to try to scare them after feeling disrespected? Or did pulling a knife cross a line, especially around minors in public? And what would you have done in their place? A group was hiking in a restricted area at an unknown location when they suddenly decided to turn around. Up ahead on the trail, a tiger was lying asleep. They spotted it just in time. It raises a big question. Why would anyone go into a restricted area where tigers are known to roam? TikTok user ShayShay3280 went viral after recording something unsettling while babysitting at a house she had never visited before. She was hired to watch a young child for the evening, and at first, everything felt normal. The child was playing happily, so she filmed a short, cute clip to show the parents later. When she finished recording, nothing seemed out of place, so she didn't think twice about it. Later that night, when she showed the video to the child's mother, the woman suddenly went pale and pointed out something in the footage that Shay had completely missed. In the background of the video, something that looks like a head with long dark hair slowly peeks around a corner. Shay says she and the child were the only people in the house at the time. What makes it even worse is that the child's mother later told her the house might be haunted. She admitted she had seen something similar before, but never told anyone because she thought no one would believe her. Shaken by this, Shay shared the video online where it spread quickly. Some people think it shows a spirit, possibly someone who once lived in the house. Others believe the clip was staged, but Shay says she had no reason to fake it. She now says she will never babysit there again, especially knowing something may have been watching her and the child from the darkness. This clip is another example of how animals seem to notice things humans miss. In the weeks leading up to the recording, the family experienced odd but subtle events. A bedroom light turning on and off by itself, toys that were left organized later found scattered, and faint footsteps upstairs. At first, they blamed aging floors and electrical issues. The dog's behavior was what truly unsettled them. It started sleeping at the base of the stairs, avoided one hallway after dark, and once woke the entire house by growling at an empty corner for several minutes. When this footage was captured, Kevin was home alone. Watch what happens next.
What do you hear, buddy?
Some people who slowed the video and brightened it say they saw something move along the wall where the dog was staring. Others think it's just lighting or video quality. Still, the dog's behavior before and after makes it hard to brush off. So, what do you think is going on? And if you had to act, what would you try first? A cleansing or prayers, calling a medium, getting the house checked for normal causes, or moving out entirely? What would you do? It was November 28, 2012, in Asheville, North Carolina. The boy recording had stayed home from school by pretending to be sick, which didn't seem like a big deal at the time. His parents were out, so he expected a calm day by himself. That feeling didn't last. After a while, he heard a noise outside. Curious, he picked up his camera and looked out an upstairs window. On the sidewalk below stood a man in dark clothes, wearing what looked like a ski mask. He wasn't walking or looking around. He was just standing there, completely still.
Focus.
When the boy lowered the camera for a moment to move, then raised it again, the man had vanished. There were no footsteps and no movement caught on video, just an empty sidewalk where someone had been seconds earlier. Instead of staying inside, the boy made a choice many people now say was a terrible idea. He ran downstairs and went outside to look for the man himself.
What the hell?
There was no trace of anyone, no person walking away, and no nearby place where someone could have hidden. Later, the boy said he felt truly unsettled and wasn't sure if he should tell his parents. In the comments, many people told him he should, while others gave simple advice: never go outside in a situation like that. No updates were ever shared. We don't know if he told his parents, called the police, or ever saw the man again, because the area sits near thick woods and rural land outside Asheville. Some viewers suggested a darker idea. They wondered if the man wasn't a random stranger at all, but someone living off the grid, moving between the woods and nearby neighborhoods. There's no proof, but stories like that aren't unheard of in parts of Appalachia. If that theory is even partly true, it leads to a chilling thought. How long had that man been standing there, watching? What do you think really happened? Was it just a strange encounter or something far more disturbing? In the next clip, a man records a frightening moment at his workplace, an incident that still keeps him awake at night. Watch this.
Hago este video porque estaba escuchando ruidos aquí atrás. Son las 3:25 de la mañana. No veo nada. Miren. Miren, miren eso. Se acaba de caer. Viendo esto, no veo nada. Miren, se movió esto. Ahorita que venía caminando por acá. No veo a nadie. Miren. 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 Miren cómo se mueve eso. Para que vean que no hay nadie aquí.
It looks like the footage was taken inside a hospital, which already makes it unsettling given how many strange stories come from places like that. A few nights later, he recorded what looked like a shadow moving past a patient room that had been empty for over a week. Then, there was the elevator. While he was alone on the ground floor, it opened on its own, and the screen showed it had come down from the morgue level, even though no one had called it. Other night staff have reported odd things too, like the intercom turning on by itself with faint breathing sounds and storage room doors opening on their own. Some people believe hospitals hold onto spirits connected to pain or death. Others think this could be something more aware, possibly a former patient who never moved on. According to him, the activity has been getting stronger, almost like it knows it's being filmed. The most disturbing part is that he's now hearing his name whispered when the halls are completely quiet. Whatever is there doesn't seem to want to leave. TikTok user My House is Haunted 777 shared a video that seriously creeped people out. She truly believes her house is haunted. One night, while she was relaxing at home, she heard a noise coming from another room. Nervous but wanting proof, she grabbed her phone and started recording.
My door just keeps opening by itself. Watch, here, look. Nobody. Nobody in this house. Nobody. Now watch. Look, let me close this door. Watch it. 3, 2. Oh, heck no. No. Okay, God. Look. Nothing. Dogs barking and everything.
She says the door keeps opening on its own. After shutting it tightly, she steps back and starts filming. Moments later, the handle begins to shake and turn, like someone is trying to open it from the other side. Her dog immediately starts barking, locked onto the door as if it senses something she can't. Then the door slowly opens. The dog keeps barking, focused on the empty doorway. She insists she's alone in the house with no one else there, but the dog's reaction makes that hard to believe. Viewers were split on what caused it. Some blamed loose hinges or air pressure from the AC, while others pointed out how controlled the handle movement looks, as if someone is actually holding and turning it. The dog barking at something unseen is what many people found hardest to explain. In the next clip, a woman named Brenda, who had never lived by herself before, moves into her own place. On her very first night there alone, something unsettling happens.
Okay, first night in the new apartment, and Mabel has been doing this for about the last 5 minutes straight. She is watching something. And yeah, the fan is on. But there's like no shadows. Oh, look. See? What is it, May? Mabel. Come here. What is it? There are no bugs. Her ears are perked, and she's watching something. See? What the heck? What the heck? Mabel. Okay, right before she came in the door, there was a light. A little ball of light that came in the door right there. What is she chasing? This is like 10 minutes straight. What the hell? She has never acted like this. What is she chasing? There are no bugs. There are no mice. Mabel, what did you go under the bed for? So... yeah, I get to sleep here tonight. Mabel! Get up here. Come here. Get up here. Lay down. So, I guess we're gonna try sleep. I'll give you an update in the morning. Good night.
Many people say new homes come with new noises like pipes, walls, or neighbors, and that she'll feel calmer once she gets used to it. Others think it's better not to wait for a second scare before doing something. Because of that, Brenda already used sage and said prayers around the apartment, especially after noticing her dog reacting like it could hear movement inside the walls. Some viewers believe the dog's behavior is the biggest red flag, since animals are often thought to sense things humans can't. Others argue it could be rodents or plumbing, but Brenda says the apartment was fully inspected before she moved in and nothing strange was found. So is this a haunted apartment or just the nerves of living alone for the first time? You decide. A girl named Valeria shared a creepy video online.
Went outside my room. Wait.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
She was home alone when, while sitting in a room with the door partly open, she heard a woman's voice call out, "Hey!" What made it especially creepy was that the voice sounded exactly like her own. Startled, she quickly shut the door, and the video cuts off right after. Once the clip spread, many people claimed Valeria might be dealing with something called a mimic, a being said to copy familiar voices to lure people. Others weren't convinced. Some said it could be sound echoing through the house, or a neighbor's voice traveling through the walls. A few also suggested the video could be staged, possibly using a recording. What do you think happened here? In September 2014, 38-year-old Aaron Hedges went elk hunting with friends in Montana's Crazy Mountains. He left the camp alone to grab supplies from a nearby stash, but never came back. As a snowstorm moved in, his friends had to leave, and a search started later. Search teams found some of his gear, including his boots, but no sign of him. Months later, his remains were found miles away from where he was supposed to be. How he ended up there was never fully explained. Some believe he got lost in the rough terrain, while others think something stranger may have happened. What really occurred in his final hours is still unknown. At 3:50 a.m., a man who lived alone was already shaken by recent police news. His downstairs neighbor, who had been missing for weeks, was found dead, explaining the bad smell and flies near the window. The idea of someone dying right below his apartment often kept him awake, but that night it wasn't just his thoughts that scared him. He heard the stairs creaking. As he slowly went to check and started recording, he captured something truly disturbing. The man feels a sudden wave of fear, certain that something is close. The feeling gets worse when he hears a noise coming from the bathroom, like someone is inside. Ever since his neighbor died, strange things have been happening in his apartment. Lights turning on and off by themselves, and footsteps on the stairs. It all becomes impossible to ignore. On another night, he grabs his phone to record yet another disturbing moment.
Here we go again. Lights. See? Let's do it again. I'm not gonna run.
The lights begin to flicker, and items appear to shift on their own, like something unseen is causing it. The night leaves Aaron shaken and convinced something is wrong in his apartment. Not knowing what else to do, he follows a viewer's suggestion to cleanse the space using sage and an egg. Hoping it will help, Aaron gives it a try. What happens next is something he never expected.
You're in the center of the room. I'll place you right there. Come back. Okay. Here we go. So if there's a demon in here, you are not welcome. You have to leave. You're not welcome. Still smoking. It's barely lit. You know, people don't think that you're real. People actually think that you don't exist, but I want to show them. So show yourself. Don't be scared. Just show yourself. Come out. Okay. Something's definitely showing itself. But it's okay because I got the sage and this. It's barely lit, but it's okay. It's still lit. I'm okay. I'm kind of scared to go around this corner. See. Here we go. Okay. Actually, I'll turn on this light. Right now, I kind of don't want to turn around. Okay. Well, if you're here, you have to leave. Or do something to this egg. Do something to this egg. Move it. Maybe it left out the window or something. Okay, let's go do the egg so I can leave my apartment. Okay, here's the egg. Nothing wrong with the egg, see? It's a regular egg. First off, let me show you my hand. There's nothing on my hand, nothing. I want to get out of here. Okay, here you go. And again. I don't know why.
When Aaron carries out the cleansing, a dark substance spills out of the egg. Many viewers say that when this happens, it means something is seriously wrong in the home, possibly something evil. As if that wasn't enough, the sound of footsteps can be heard coming down the stairs.
See. Here we go.
It's no surprise that Aaron is shaken. Even his friends, who come by soon after, are left stunned when they see something they can't explain for themselves.
This has been happening too.
Nah, dude. Something like that, dude, you gotta... I feel like I've seen that before. You gotta... Whenever since I was young, you gotta, like, call it out or something. Like...
The remote starts moving by itself, with no strings or clear reason for how it slides across the surface. Aaron believes something supernatural is behind it and keeps recording these events, hoping to understand what's happening. But in the end, it's up to you. Do you think this is paranormal, or could there be another explanation? Share your thoughts. A woman was at home when she heard a loud, unfamiliar noise coming from the sky. Feeling uneasy but curious, she went outside and began recording. The noise was constant, low, and mechanical, as if it was coming from overhead. But there was no obvious source. No planes, no weather, nothing in the sky that explained it. After a short pause, the sound stopped, then started again a moment later.
Wait for it.
The video doesn't show anything that explains the noise, and its source is still a mystery. Similar recordings of strange sounds from the sky have appeared online over the years from different places, but no confirmed explanation has ever been found. In June 1969, a 6-year-old boy named Dennis Martin disappeared during a family camping trip in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. While playing with other children, Dennis ran toward the woods for just a moment and never returned. Panic set in quickly. His family searched for him and then contacted park authorities. What followed was the largest search effort in the park's history at the time. Hundreds of volunteers, park rangers, and special teams searched the thick forest and steep terrain for days. Despite the massive operation, no physical evidence was ever found. There were no clothes, no footprints, and no sign of where Dennis went. To this day, his disappearance remains one of the park's most unsettling unsolved cases. This video was shared by a man named Bobby, who lives with his daughter in a house filled with strange activity. Believing something is haunting their home, he's been recording what's been happening. One incident stands out as the most disturbing of all. While sitting in the living room, Bobby hears odd sounds coming from his bedroom. He pulls out his phone and starts recording. What happens next is truly chilling.
I don't know what the hell it is. It's like knocking, creaking footsteps. It's either in my room or Sky's room, but Sky's passed out right now. But it's crazy, yo. Hold on. See, she's sleeping. See, I'm telling you, I keep hearing weird. I think it's coming from my room now. What is that? See, I keep this up against the cabinet because the dolls like to try to open the doors and it's weird. I don't know what that sound is though. What's that, man? Yo, this. I'm good on that. Yeah. I'm staying out of there. Yo. Bro.
Footsteps suddenly sound behind Bobby, like someone just walked into the room. Shocked, he quickly closes the cabinet and leaves. Over the next few months, he keeps posting videos of strange things happening in the house, but his latest recording is the most unsettling yet. While home alone, he captures something that seriously disturbs him.
I'm glad she's sleeping. It'd probably freak her out. Hello? Nah, get out of here, man. Hello?
The door to the same room where the footsteps were heard slowly opens by itself. It scares Bobby, but that moment is nothing compared to what comes next. Later, while he's alone again, Bobby sees something he can't explain inside his daughter's room.
Just hit like twice. And this ain't the first time this happened either. It happened when my girl was here as well, but it always gets crazy when I'm here by myself. Or when my daughter's sleeping. But, see? I told you. I want her piano again. Hello? See, there's her piano. Don't mind her room. She has so many damn toys. We gotta clean up like every day in here. Hello? Well, y'all caught the piano. I don't know if y'all catch anything else. It usually happens once, and every time I try to record something, it just, nothing happens, so. But at least y'all caught that part. Yo. Nope, I'm good. Nope, I'm good. Shut that. I'm telling you, every time I'm here by myself, man. See, look, her piano's still going off in there, man. Every time. But yeah, welcome to our apartment.
Inside his daughter's room, toys begin making sounds on their own, adding to the growing list of strange events. Not much more is known about what's happening in Bobby's home, but he keeps recording and sharing the footage, hoping someone can make sense of it. So what do you think? Is this real poltergeist activity or just a well-planned hoax? You decide. A home security camera in the UK captured a short and strange moment on a quiet street. A dark figure suddenly ran across the road. It looked human in shape, moved quickly, and appeared slightly transparent before vanishing almost instantly. Some people believe it could be an apparition, while others think it was caused by a camera glitch or visual distortion. The origin of the footage hasn't been verified, but it continues to spark debate. A woman named Jennifer lives in a historic home built in 1907, filled with antiques dating back to the early 1900s. At first, the house feels cozy, elegant, and full of charm. But not long after moving in, Jennifer began noticing things she couldn't explain. She heard footsteps when no one else was there, quiet whispers, objects moving on their own, and shadows slipping past the corner of her eye. Things became even more disturbing after she spoke with a local historian. Jennifer learned that when the house was built, there were no hospitals nearby, and it's believed at least 4 people died inside the home. These deaths likely happened during intense emotional moments, which some believe can leave energy behind. Many viewers who had seen her earlier videos already suspected the house itself was the cause. One evening, just as Jennifer was about to sit down for dinner, she heard strange sounds coming from inside the house. Watch closely.
I'm hearing a few things. It's like 4:45, so I'm just gonna listen and see if I can catch anything. Okay, I thought I just heard music. I want to go up on this landing and see if I can hear it better. Okay, well, listen up here. I seriously feel like I'm hearing people like have a conversation. No one's here but me. Oh my gosh. I'm hearing movement. Down there. And then I heard something up here. Do you hear that? It sounds like music. Well, it's the usual dinner time activity. I'm gonna play it back and see if I caught anything.
What makes this clip especially unsettling is how differently people hear it. Some think it sounds like quiet humming, others hear knocking, while many are convinced they can clearly hear a man's voice saying, "I'm fine." A few even say there's faint music in the background. The creepiest part is that none of these sounds seem to come from any clear source. After watching, viewers couldn't agree on what it was, only that something about it feels off. So what did you hear? Is this house holding on to its past, or is something inside becoming aware of the people living there now? You decide. In this next clip, a well-known ghost hunter named Ian heads deep into the woods of Minnesota. That night, he was walking toward a remote cemetery said to be one of the most haunted spots in the area. He was completely alone, and even he admitted that the situation was starting to seriously scare him.
Okay. I'm coming towards you, whoever you are. I hear somebody walking up and down this trail. Could you walk towards me? Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm sorry. You almost gave me a heart attack. I know I asked you to do that, but damn. Holy moly, I didn't think you were gonna actually do it.
Vicksburg Cemetery was hidden deep in the woods, overgrown and surrounded by trees. According to local stories, one grave was said to glow at night, and every spring it supposedly grew fresh flowers that looked like they were dripping blood. Even during the day, the place felt unsettling. Still, Ian decided to stay there alone all night. The cemetery was quiet and heavy with silence. As he walked through it, shining his flashlight around, something caught his attention. One grave was completely torn up. The stone was broken, the ground disturbed, as if something had dug its way out or forced its way in. Instead of leaving, Ian did what he usually does and tried to communicate with whatever might still be there.
This whole grave is in shambles. I'm sorry that your tombstone has been destroyed. What happened? Is it vandalized? Whoa. Okay, I just heard you.
At this moment, a woman's whisper intelligently responds to my question.
In my left hand, I have a green light. It won't harm you in any way. All it will simply do is detect your presence. If you're still here, could you tell me your name? Because unfortunately, there's really no way for me to tell. I really don't want to dig around your grave shambles, because I don't want to damage it any further. You don't have to be shy, ma'am. As I said, I'm just here to visit. I'm here with nothing but respect. I'm getting eaten up by mosquitoes right now, but that's okay. It's worth it. If I could just hear your voice one more time. Whoa. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I heard that. I heard you once again. Whoa, you just drained my battery too. Dang, dude. All right. I'm gonna review this when I get home, and I'll know your message.
After reviewing the footage later, Ian noticed a voice that sounded like it was saying the word foreign. That detail stuck with him, so he decided to look into the grave. His research showed it belonged to a woman named Vesta Black Davis, buried by herself with no relatives nearby. It was a sad discovery, but it led to a more troubling question. If no one visited her and the site wasn't cared for, why was her grave the only one that had been broken apart? Two sisters were home by themselves when their house alarm suddenly started blaring. Thinking someone might have broken in, they hid and waited, unsure of what was happening inside.
I'm recording. Wait. Do you hear that?
When they later checked their security footage, it showed the front door opening, as if someone had come inside. The strange part is that no one can be seen opening it. The door just swings open by itself. At the time, the sisters didn't see this happen. They only realized the door was open. As they panicked, a police siren could be heard outside, making things even more intense. And just when it feels like it can't get worse, something else shows up.
Clear. Clear.
It starts to look like something else was inside the house that night, just not what the sisters thought. They believed it was a person, but the footage shows a small, dark shape racing past the camera at extreme speed. It has no clear form or details and disappears almost immediately.
The fact that it just moved so quickly,
but then like the motion capture camera didn't see that shape, and like when it was tracking the movement. Known that it would...
What made it even creepier was how the security camera reacted. It seemed unable to properly track whatever was moving through the house. Sometimes it didn't detect anything at all. Other times, a green detection box appeared in a dark, empty room, as if the camera briefly picked up something that couldn't be seen. The sisters said their camera had never acted like that before, and it all started the same night the door opened by itself.
Front door opening on its own. That shit was closed. We closed that door. And I mean, this house is like brand new. Like it's not old or like anything. Yeah, it's not like the latches are like faulty or something.
Since everything seems to begin with the door opening on its own, the sisters believe something paranormal may have entered the house. That leads to a troubling question about the earlier footage. Did something supernatural open the door, or is there a normal explanation that hasn't been considered? After watching the video, it's difficult to say what was truly captured that night. So what do you think the camera was picking up? We've shared a clip from this guy before. He lives with 2 roommates and his cat, and he started recording strange activity in their house back in the summer of 2023. It all began when a door suddenly slammed into him for no clear reason. Since then, the weird stuff hasn't stopped, especially in the kitchen. He's heard loud bangs, objects clattering, and cabinets opening when no one was home. This time, he tried a different approach. He set up 2 phones, one inside the kitchen and another outside aimed at the kitchen door. Then they locked the house, turned off the heating to rule out airflow, and left together for a walk, making sure everything was completely still. Watch what happens next. So far, no one has been able to give a clear explanation for how the door moved when nobody was inside the house. In this next clip, the well-known Midwest ghost hunter Ian visits one of Nebraska's most talked about haunted places, the Argo Hotel. The building has a disturbing past. Back when it was a sanatorium, a woman named Alice is said to have died during childbirth in the basement. People believe her spirit never left. Guests and staff report hearing quiet crying in the halls at night, sometimes even calling out for a baby. Things get even darker. During renovations, workers discovered the skeletal remains of an infant sealed inside one of the walls, which many believe belonged to Alice. And she's not the only presence people talk about. Visitors staying in room 1 often report their blankets being pulled off while they sleep, or hearing soft breathing right next to them. On November 28, 2024, Ian chose to spend the night there completely alone, hoping to catch real evidence of what's been happening. Watch.
That sounded like a lady's voice, right there. I swear to God, I just heard that right behind me.
Alice, is that you? She's that ghostly woman that they see wandering around. Could you say something again? I don't know if I'm just losing it, but I swear to God I heard that. I'm not hearing anything else. It's dead quiet. Alice, was that you I just heard? Whoa! There's something standing right over there. It was right behind that couch. There was something literally standing in that photo. It was like a mist or something. But I'm not seeing it anymore. It's completely gone.
So was it Alice still roaming those halls, or was it something else entirely? Right as they're about to close up for the night, Nick and his co-workers pause near the front of the store, debating whether it's even worth going back to grab her keys from the back room. The lights above them keep flickering, buzzing on and off in a way that feels too intentional to be a normal electrical problem. You can hear the uncertainty in their voices as they start recording. They've experienced strange things in this store before, and this doesn't feel like a coincidence.
Okay guys, we were literally just about to leave my store when just started flickering again. This is the second time it's happened. My car's over there, and
I'm shaking right now.
Okay, and her keys are in the back.
We need to go. We need to go get my keys.
And the light turned on.
I don't want to go.
Okay, well, I'm gonna literally record this whole thing just so you guys can see what happened. I'm literally so scared. Okay, something. The bathroom light's on too.
I'm just like, bro, why am I? You were not there. Like, I dead ass put them on the desk. Like, oh my god.
This is literally insane.
As they head toward the back, something suddenly slides off the front counter and crashes onto the floor. Both of them stop cold. For a moment, they don't know what to do, but since she needs her keys, they force themselves to keep going, even though neither wants to. When they reach the kitchen entrance, it's clear things have gotten worse. Items are scattered all over the floor, like someone had just been throwing things around. Nothing is moving now. The lights aren't flickering back there, and no one else is in the store, but the mess is obvious. Whatever caused it didn't stop until they showed up. Nick's face says it all. In the next part of the video, they're sitting in the back room, crowded around the security monitors, trying to figure out what to do. Their shift is already over. They're too scared to walk back through the store, but staying doesn't feel safe either. When Nick stands up to point out something they might have missed, a loud bang slams down next to him, just out of frame, like something was thrown. Both of them jump back in panic.
Okay guys, we've been sitting in the back for like 20 minutes now, and we're just watching the cameras and stuff is still flickering and going on, but nothing happened back here, and we need to go home, and this is so freaking terrifying.
We're 50 minutes past our shift.
We closed at 10, so we need to like, it's so dark because all the light switches are over here.
Stop it. Stop. Go.
Okay.
Go. Go.
Okay, this is what I mean. This room is over.
Oh my god.
This is.
Oh my god.
This is what we're dealing with.
Oh my god. Nick, did you do this on purpose?
I.
No, I'm gonna be.
Stop! You're literally. Are you?
No, wait, no. Nah.
No.
That didn't just...
We literally looked away for like 2 seconds.
In the end, they decide they can't stay inside and go wait outside for the manager. Standing by the front windows, they keep recording, watching the dark store through the glass in case something else happens. That's when the lights above the front counter start swinging back and forth. Not lightly, but with purpose, like something is moving beneath them. The doors are locked, the AC is off. no one is inside. Still, the lights keep swaying. Afterward, Nick's co-worker says she's done working late shifts. Nick doesn't disagree. After what they witnessed, it's hard to believe the store was ever truly empty.
Okay, we're gonna peace out for the night. Okay. We're gonna peace out for the night. I can't even put the key in. This is what we deal with at Twirls and Twirls. And no one believes us because who would? Who really would? And the backlight.
Possessed by a demon, so
No, the light's still on.
Like,
I don't think we turned it off though. But now the machine lights are on. Good. This is great. This is great. Okay, guys, I'm here alone. It's a few days later, and it's 6 o'clock. I'll show you the time. The lights are freaking flickering again. The music is being wacky. The speakers are in the ceiling. Like, this is literally insane. And now they stopped. And now they're like, this is what I mean. Nothing. Like, I don't know how to explain this. The switch is right here.
In a later clip, the overhead lights start flickering again, flashing bright and dim even though the weather is calm and the rest of the store's power is steady. As Nick walks through the kitchen, the music keeps cutting out, going silent for a few seconds before suddenly blasting back on at full volume, almost like someone is playing with the controls. Nick slowly moves the camera around to show that he's alone out front. No customers, no co-workers, no one near the switches or speakers. The feeling is off, especially for the middle of the day. It's almost like whatever is causing this doesn't care about time. The same thing that made the night shift so frightening is still active, and now it's happening in daylight. Near the end of the video, Nick jokes that he doesn't get paid enough for this, and after everything that's happened, it's hard to argue with him.
It's 11:29. Me and Nick were supposed to leave here at 11 o'clock, but weird happening.
A chair fell. There's lights flickering
Literally,
on
there
the
is
machines.
lights flickering everywhere.
A chair fell.
It's freaking me out.
I mean, what the is that? There's actual footsteps going on in the ceiling right now. And something just fell over here. Is anyone there?
I'm scared.
The video then switches to the woman's point of view. She's recording while she and Nick sit together in the back room, going through the security footage and trying to understand what's been happening. She explains that earlier that night, one of the chairs in the front seating area suddenly tipped over by itself. At the same moment, the lights throughout the store began flickering, like the whole building reacted to something they couldn't see. As they quietly point at the monitor and argue over which camera to check next, a loud noise comes from just outside the room. The conversation stops instantly. They freeze. Then, without a word, both of them rush out of the office, leaving the camera aimed at the floor. The video cuts to the CCTV clip from earlier that night, showing the exact moment the chair falls. No one is near it. Nothing touches it. It drops suddenly and forcefully, like it was pulled down. The footage then switches back to a later handheld clip from the woman's phone. As she walks through the store and approaches the front counter, something slams loudly to her right. She turns the camera just in time to see the cash register on the floor, flipped onto its back after clearly being shoved off the counter. She gasps immediately. By this point, one thing is obvious. Whatever is in that store doesn't depend on the time of day, how many people are around, or whether anyone is watching. It shows itself when it wants to, and this time, it made sure they both witnessed it. This next clip comes from police body cam footage released after a woman called officers, convinced someone was inside her home. Take a look.
Anyone inside? I'm gonna check downstairs, you get upstairs. Police! Anyone inside, make yourself known. Downstairs clear. Upstairs clear?
Yeah, we're good.
The officers checked every room, closet, and hallway, but found nothing. No open windows, no footprints, no signs that anyone had broken in. For the homeowner, that only made it more unsettling. She says this wasn't the first time strange things had happened. It began with doors unlocking on their own, soft footsteps in the hallway, and lights turning on late at night. After watching the body cam footage, she started to believe it wasn't a person at all. Some viewers think it could be a residual haunting. Others suggest she may have brought something into the house without realizing it, possibly through an antique or secondhand furniture. What do you think is going on here? I'd love to hear your thoughts. In the next clip, a woman named Jess shares a disturbing story that stayed with her for more than 10 years. 13 years ago, Jess lost a close friend named Derek, and since then, she feels like he never truly left. Wherever she moves, strange things seem to follow her. Lights flickering, footsteps in empty rooms, and objects moving on their own. Now, in a house she moved into only a few months ago, Jess believes Derek has found her once again.
Mary, what? He's doing it again. He's doing it again. Mary, he's doing it again. Derek! Hey, Derek! I know you're dude. Derek! Derek! I'm talking to you, man. Stop, dude. Calm down, Jessica. It's okay. It's okay. Calm down. It's just Derek. It's just Derek. Hey, Derek. Hey, Derek. What you doing, buddy? I miss you. Derek. What are you doing, buddy? You know I love you. You know I love you. Hey, Derek. Come on, you dumb... What?
Many people think Jess may be holding on to something that once belonged to Derek, an item that could be keeping his presence tied to her. Others believe Derek might be trying to communicate, maybe with a message she's missed for over 13 years, something that could finally let him move on. Not everyone agrees, though. Some warn that she could be wrong, saying what she's dealing with might not be Derek at all, but something using her grief to earn her trust. A few even told her to check the attic, where strange energy is often said to collect in older homes. When she finally did, this is what she found.
Y'all wanted me to come up to the attic, okay? This is a wall that y'all on, and these are the stairs. Like, my husband has all his clothes, of course. But if you look up there, there's no windows. I'm not going all the way up there because it scares the shit out of me. There's no windows. There's a sofa, some mirrors, a chair, his clothes, but there's no windows up here, okay? There's nothing up here that would have done anything. See? No window. No window. No windows. Nothing. Absolutely nothing up here. Other than like his toolboxes and a chair. I'm not going up here because it's scary for me. But there are some mirrors, which is weird for an attic. A fan. See, there's no windows. This is my attic. There's nothing up here that could have done that. Alright, I'm getting out of here because it feels weird.
So, is Jess truly being visited by the spirit of her old friend, or is it something else wearing his face to keep her believing? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. The next clip was shared by a man from the UK who posted several videos on social media about what he believes is a haunted object in his house. The object is an old African mask that he bought at a car boot sale. At first, he thought it was just an interesting decoration and hung it on his wall, but after bringing it home, odd things started to happen. He began talking about these events online, and people who followed him became curious and asked to see the mask more clearly. So he recorded a close-up video of it, hoping someone might recognize it or know where it came from. He didn't expect what happened after that.
Just a little quick video because a few people wanted to see the mask up close. No idea how old it is. Not a clue. I'm not gonna say super old, but you know, I think it's got a bit of age to it. Could be wrong. If anyone's got any opinions on this after they've seen it up close, what kind of mask it is, how old it might be, no expert, but what? Is it? Hello? Hello? Everyone's been saying, why have you got the lights off all the time? The landing light does not work, right? There's no bulb in this light. Because usually I are going upstairs. But I'm doing this because I just want to try and prove to you all there's nobody but me and whatever this is. Oh! Oh my god! Oh, there was a figure in the window. silhouette in the window.
The man starts filming the mask so viewers can see it up close, but he's suddenly distracted by strange noises coming from another room. It sounds like someone moving around upstairs, even though he says he lives alone. He follows the noise, slowly walking up the dark stairs. Then he notices a dark figure standing in an upstairs window. Scared, he runs back downstairs and ends up sleeping on the sofa that night. The next day, while he's in his bedroom, the noises start again. Feeling uneasy, he grabs his phone and begins recording.
Hello? I did not leave that light on. Stuff on the floor.
When the man tries to investigate, things suddenly spiral out of control. Objects start falling, and his belongings appear to be thrown around. The video cuts off without showing what happens next. Afterward, several viewers comment that they've had similar experiences after bringing African masks into their homes. One person claims the mask looks like a tribal ceremonial mask used to communicate with spirits, warning that such masks can invite spirits inside and require rituals or offerings to keep them calm. If those rituals aren't done, the activity can get worse. What makes this more unsettling is that the man later mentions he originally bought 2 matching masks but sold one. Some viewers believe separating the pair may have caused the activity to escalate. The man says he plans to get rid of the mask, hoping it will stop the disturbances, but commenters warn that simply throwing it away may not be enough. This footage was filmed inside the Lizzie Borden house in the Abby and Andrew suite, a room already known for strange activity. At the time, an investigator named Kyle was inside the house completely alone. When he tried to enter the suite, the door kept locking on its own. There was no one else around and no one touching the handle. After struggling with it, Kyle finally forced the door open and began recording. As soon as he stepped inside, something felt off. The room was suddenly filled with a deep red light, throwing heavy shadows across the walls and furniture. Kyle slowly walked through the room, confused and uneasy, unable to figure out why the lighting had changed so drastically. As he keeps recording, a door inside the suite suddenly shuts by itself. No one is anywhere near it. Around the same time, the camera briefly goes out of focus just as Kyle steps inside. Some investigators say this can happen when something unseen passes close to the lens. With the door locking earlier, the sudden movement, and the camera struggling to focus, the room no longer feels empty. It feels occupied. Later on, in another part of the same house, something just as disturbing is caught. A doorway comes into view, and the door slowly moves back and forth on its own. Each time it opens, a creepy doll inside the room is revealed, then hidden again as the door closes. The motion looks steady and controlled, not like air movement, almost as if something is deciding exactly when the doll should be shown. After a few minutes, the door suddenly stops moving. The silence that follows feels even more unsettling than the movement itself. Kyle decides he's had enough. He backs away and kicks the doll down the hallway, putting as much space as he can between himself and the room. But it doesn't end there. In another clip from the same house, a wooden door appears to be pushed from the other side. A metal chain lock is the only thing holding it shut. The force against the door doesn't look random. It seems steady, like something is deliberately testing the chain, pulling just hard enough to make it shake. Not long after that, Kyle tries to go into another room, but the door won't budge. When he pushes, it pushes back. It doesn't feel jammed or broken, but like something on the other side is holding it closed. The pressure stays the same the entire time. After everything he's experienced, Kyle decides to leave the house. So is the Lizzie Borden house just old and unstable, or is something inside choosing who's allowed to enter and who isn't? You decide. The next clip has people arguing over whether it's paranormal or not. It involves a woman named Sydney and her sister Gretchen, who goes by Gretch. They rented an Airbnb for a wedding that weekend. Just minutes after arriving, Sydney stepped outside to walk the dog. When she came back in, she walked into something unexpected.
Touch it. Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
The curtain, a balloon, and the dog's leash suddenly flew up along the staircase, like someone had pulled them from above. Skeptics quickly said it was just wind or the house settling, but others disagreed, noting how each item moved in a way that looked intentional. Sydney and Gretch both felt something wasn't right about the place. Still, it had only been an hour since they arrived, and leaving right away seemed extreme. The dog also appeared calm, which most people took as a good sign, but that calm didn't last.
Okay, so this is the leash. If this moves, I'm literally going to run. There she goes again. I don't think the leash is gonna move, but she's definitely sensing something. Every single day.
Based on how the dog reacted, it felt like something was on those stairs. This wasn't normal sniffing out of curiosity. The dog looked tense and careful, like it was ready for something to happen. Things got even creepier when a viewer said she recognized the Airbnb from the carpet and claimed someone had died on those same steps. Some people believe energy from traumatic events can stay behind and replay itself. Others think places like that attract things that shouldn't be there anymore. Wanting answers, Sydney started slowly checking the house, paying attention to details she ignored before. That's when she found something that could explain everything. Watch this.
So I think I figured out why my dog just is always hanging out right here. So I just found a door back here. So I don't think that it's what's on the stairs. I think it's something that's underneath. So I tried to check, but the door is locked. Obviously it's an Airbnb, so they lock a lot of the doors up, but so yeah, I don't think that it's what's on the stairs like what I initially thought. I think it's what's below. to find out at this point.
After they discovered a locked basement under the stairs, everything started to make more sense. Sydney felt sure that whatever was happening on the steps, whatever her dog kept reacting to, was tied to what was hidden behind that door. It seemed like the dog could sense something moving below them, even if they couldn't. Curious and desperate for answers, Sydney slid her phone under the door to see what was inside. Watch this.
This is the switch. You guys can see their light is on right there. I wonder if
Just, maybe there's someone right behind the door. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god, did that just happen?
The doorknob suddenly started moving, like someone was trying to open the door from the inside. The sisters were terrified, their minds racing with possibilities. At first, they tried to explain it logically. They even wondered if someone might be living down there, since they had once stayed at an Airbnb where the host secretly rented out rooms. But after checking the house and finding no one, that idea fell apart, leaving them with something far more disturbing. Once they calmed down and processed what had happened, they decided to try again, hoping to catch whatever was turning the knob. Instead, something even more frightening occurred.
Yeah.
Scary.
Okay. Okay, every time we've knocked before, this doorknob would turn a little bit.
Suddenly, something ripped the phone out of Sydney's hand from the basement side. When it hit the floor below, there was no one visible down there. Still, the phone continued to move, as if it was being pushed or dragged by something just out of view. Viewers quickly began guessing what it could be. Some believed a person was hiding in the darkness. Others were convinced the phone was being pulled by an unseen force, similar to how objects are said to move during strong hauntings. Sydney called the host, who later came to unlock the basement so she could get her phone back. But when he arrived, she and her sister noticed something they couldn't ignore.
There's no reason for me to go that way. But I'm waiting to start hearing things from coming underneath my house. That's it. I'm out of here. Going under the door. Okay, well, door too. It's creepy.
Thank you.
The host had a tattoo of overlapping triangles on his right palm, and many viewers were convinced he knew more about that basement than he admitted. The symbol alone caused the comments to explode. People said it was linked to occult beliefs, protection symbols, or rituals meant to seal or guard certain spaces. Seeing that tattoo on his hand while the basement was locked under the stairs made the situation feel even more disturbing. Some viewers went as far as suggesting he may have tried to seal something down there, and that it might no longer be fully contained. Concern quickly grew. People urged the sisters to leave the Airbnb right away, and some even told them they could demand a refund if the host hadn't disclosed everything about the property. Eventually, Sydney shared an update in response to the growing concern.
Okay, so I sent the video to the landlord of the Airbnb, and hold on, let me turn on the light. Okay, I sent the video to the landlord of the Airbnb asking, like, hey, is there someone else renting it out as well as us or what? Because there's a room under the stairs that we can't get into. It's locked, so I didn't know. And basically he was like, no, you guys are the only ones that are in the Airbnb right now, like booked out for the week. So okay, kind of feel relieved in a way, because I think it would be really weird and kind of creepy if there were people staying there as well that we didn't know about. But yeah, he didn't seem worried at all about it, so we'll see.
Sydney is sure this isn't just a normal rental issue. With the strange movement, the dog's reactions, the locked basement, the rattling doorknob, the phone being pulled away, and the host's disturbing tattoo, it's becoming harder to ignore the idea that something else may be in that house. So what was really in the basement? A spirit trying to escape, or something trying to keep people out? You decide. In the next video, a woman grabs her camera after hearing odd noises coming from her living room. She says it had been going on for weeks. Soft footsteps, light knocking, and the sound of furniture moving when no one was around. Her friends didn't believe her, so this time she decided to record it. Listen closely.
Saying I'm schizophrenic. Do you hear that? Lord, save me. What? I'm the only one here, bitch.
She now believes her house is haunted. Still, she says that since nothing has actually hurt her, she's learned to live with it. Some people in the comments agreed, saying it could be a harmless presence, maybe something tied to the house or to her. Others weren't convinced. They noticed that most of the activity happens when she's alone, which made them think it could be something more aware, something reacting to her being there. One viewer even warned that ignoring it might only encourage it to continue. For now, she trusts her instincts and plans to stay. She says she doesn't feel threatened, and as long as nothing changes, she's willing to coexist with whatever is causing it. Still, it leaves one question hanging. Will it remain harmless, or is this just the start of something worse? Caitlin is a young woman who survived a serious accident in 2020, but something that happened afterwards still haunts her. On August 8th, she broke her neck after jumping from a rope swing and landing on rocks. While recovering at home months later, she experienced something she can't explain. One night, while she was alone, her camera recorded an event that still gives her chills. She hears metallic sounds coming from downstairs. Then a loud bang makes her panic and run. Seconds later, heavy footsteps get closer and something starts pulling at her bedroom door. Without warning, both doors swing open by themselves. Caitlin is left sitting on her bed, frozen in fear. The video cuts off there, but the experience didn't end. Just days later, something even more disturbing takes place. Once again, the same door closes by itself, making many people think the room may be haunted. Since then, Caitlin hasn't spoken publicly about either incident. Judging by how terrified she looked both times, it seems she'd rather put it behind her. Still, those moments clearly left a lasting mark. So, was this real paranormal activity, or is there another explanation for what happened? In the next clip, we see footage taken inside a daycare in East Tennessee. The building used to be a church before it was turned into a daycare.
The video I'm about to show you is very disturbing. I'm just gonna let it play for you and then I'll give you the background.
See? Lights go off. Now watch. You're gonna see.
What you just saw was security footage that was sent to me by a woman who worked at a daycare in East Tennessee, Appalachia region. This daycare is actually a very old church that was turned into like a private daycare school. She said that events leading up to this, she was kind of having some weird experiences where she would be in her office after hours and would hear like people walking down the stairs, and then she would go check the stairwell and nobody would be there, or she would hear noises coming from classrooms and open up the door and see nothing. She said she would be the only one on the property at this time because she was in charge of like opening the daycare center, and then she would often stay after hours. So nobody was in the building when she was hearing these noises. On this particular day, she was opening the daycare. She went in that door that you saw at the end of the hall and noticed there was an iPad laying on the ground. This was really odd to her because these iPads are put into this like cabinet area that are hooked on like chargers. And she said they're very secure and they're like sitting up on charging decks, if that makes sense. She thought maybe an intruder came in or something, so she immediately notified the security officer who came and checked the camera footage. And that is the camera footage that you saw. Literally, the way that iPad just flings out of that cabinet is giving me chills right now. In the beginning, I feel like I also saw some kind of an orb object, but I've watched this video so many times and I feel like it's just unexplainable. Tell me what you saw in the video, if you saw the orbs like I did, or if you noticed anything else that's odd, and leave in the comments if you have any weird experiences like this.
The way the iPad flies across the room is hard to explain. For context, the woman who shared the video works at the daycare and says strange things had been happening long before this. When she stayed late, she'd hear footsteps on the old wooden stairs, but no one would be there. Other times, she heard faint sounds from empty classrooms, like toys moving or drawers opening. On the morning this video was filmed, she arrived early and found an iPad on the floor. She usually opens the daycare, so the building should have been empty with the iPads locked in a cabinet. Thinking someone might have broken in, she called security. Some believe the activity is leftover energy from when the building was a church, while others think converting it disturbed something. So what do you think really happened inside that old daycare? On TikTok, a creator called Jensen's Journey usually shares everyday moments with her family, including updates on her son's health and hockey. But according to the mother, Kelsey, there's another side of her home she doesn't often talk about. For years, she says strange things have been happening, like doors locking on their own, baby gates slamming shut, and objects moving with no one nearby. She claims the activity got worse after her son Jensen was born. One afternoon, while Kelsey and her older son Tucker were getting ready to leave. Their security camera captured something she still can't explain. As Tucker walks past the doorway, he suddenly stops, as if he noticed something. Seconds later, a small toy duck on the floor starts to move on its own. No one is touching it, and no one is close enough to explain it. Startled, Tucker walks away, then returns with his mom. Just as they're about to leave, it happens again. This time, the toy slides even farther across the floor, like something is pushing it. Kelsey says she still has no idea what caused it. Was it a mechanical issue, a coincidence, or something else? You decide. In the next clip, TJ talks about her growing interest in haunted dolls. Over the past year, she's built a collection, believing each doll has its own history and energy. She often shares what it's like living with them, and while many people watch out of curiosity, no one expected her latest update to be this disturbing.
What's going on down there?
The clip quickly caught the attention of other haunted doll collectors, who began asking how long it took for her dolls to start acting this way. Many said their dolls stay quiet for months or even years, and that the quiet ones often make them the most uneasy, since they believe spirits may be watching and adjusting before doing anything. TJ replied honestly, saying it took over a year to build a close bond before the activity increased, and that it wasn't always this intense. She said things only changed once the dolls seemed comfortable with her. Her response sparked more debate. For now, TJ says she isn't afraid and feels at ease with the dolls, but viewers wonder whether that's because she's truly safe or because whatever is attached to them has already settled in. A Reddit user says he was walking his dog in the woods in Canada when he went off the trail following deer tracks. That's when he came across something strange. Hidden among the trees was a small wooden shelter that looked abandoned. Nearby, he found a creepy mannequin positioned like a scarecrow, but it seemed meant to scare people, not animals. Afterward, he asked locals about it, but no one knew anything about it. Someone was walking along a forest path near an old abandoned castle when their footage captured something strange. A dark, semi-transparent figure stood ahead, shaped like a person and dressed in dark clothing, completely still. The person didn't notice it at the time and couldn't explain it later. After researching the area, they learned the castle is said to be haunted, leaving them to wonder if what they captured was something paranormal. In the next video, a man claims he lives in a haunted house. After months of recording strange activity, viewers believe they've traced it back to an African mask hanging in his home, but he's been in denial and refuses to believe it's the cause. Friends and viewers have urged him to get rid of it, but he kept brushing them off. That is, until the activity escalated to a point that was impossible to ignore. It started with a single loud bang. Then a wind chime moved, followed seconds later by a cupboard door slamming shut on its own. The event seemed linked, like something passing through the house. What convinced viewers it wasn't the house, but the mask, was what happened next. The activity turned aggressive. A knife flew off and nearly hit his leg. That wasn't the end of it. He says he now wakes up around 2 or 3 a.m. to scratching sounds on the walls, footsteps near his bed, and sudden drops in temperature that make the room feel freezing. People in the comments warned him again to remove the mask before things get worse. After everything he's been through, especially now that he's getting hurt, many hope he finally listens. Kyle posts another unsettling update from inside his home. This time, it's not the usual sound of children's voices coming from the attic. Something new has started happening. Over the past few nights, Kyle says he's been seeing shadows move at the edge of his vision. Every time he turns to look, they disappear. One night, when the shadow shows up again, Kyle turns on his camera, hoping to finally capture whatever it is. As the camera rolls, a voice can be heard, and it clearly sounds like a child. When shadow movement is followed by a voice with no source, many people believe it suggests whatever is present is becoming aware of the person living there. The fact that it sounds like a child makes it even more unsettling. Some think spirits copy children's voices to seem harmless. Others believe it could be leftover sounds tied to the house's past, replaying on their own. Kyle's friends think it's the same presence he's dealt with before, no longer limited to the attic or basement, but moving freely through the house. Others disagree, saying the shadows point to something different entirely. So are the shadows and the voice connected, or has something new entered the home and started revealing itself? Either way, it doesn't seem like whatever this is plans on stopping anytime soon. In the next clip, a man falls asleep with his bedroom light completely off. When he wakes up around 1 a.m., he opens his eyes and sees that the light is suddenly on. Watch.
La 1 de la mañana acaban de prender la luz de la sala. Desde que compré ese espejo están pasando todas las cosas raras. A la madre. ¿Qué fue eso? Eso se está saliendo de control ya.
He says that ever since he brought this toy into his apartment, things haven't felt normal. At first, it was small sounds, like light tapping in the hallway and quiet creaks in empty rooms. Over time, it got worse. Now he wakes up almost every night to noises moving from room to room, like slow footsteps. Twice, something has forcefully twisted his doorknob while he was asleep. Even his cat refuses to go near the toy, sitting in the doorway with its ears back and staring into the dark. On nights when the activity is strongest, the cat becomes restless and growls. Many people in the comments warned him to be careful about what he brings home, saying it may not be the toy itself, but whatever could be attached to it. In his case, it seems like he didn't bring home just a toy, but something that doesn't want to leave. A TikTok user named Beard Dude posted several videos that he says were filmed while he was working alone as a gardener in a cemetery. In the first video, he explains that he's noticed strange movement nearby and feels like something is there with him. Staying calm, he speaks to whatever it might be and asks for a sign. He says that if it's in the room, it should close the door in front of him. At first, nothing happens. After a short pause, the door suddenly moves.
I heard you over there. I heard you moving around. Let me know you're here. Close that door. Yes, this is your cemetery. I know. I'm just trying to keep it nice for you. Keep it maintained and looking nice, out of respect. I'm not trying to.
In the second video, Beard Dude walks through another area of the site and says he keeps hearing strange shuffling sounds behind a cement mixer. Every time he checks, there's nothing there. He's completely alone, and nothing seems to be moving. But while he keeps filming and looks away for a moment, something unexpected happens nearby.
So I'm hearing shuffling now. It sounded like it was behind the cement mixer. Fast footsteps or something that was back there. And clearly you can see there's nobody back there.
I can't imagine being charged by 5 full-grown elephants.
So, not sure what that was. Reach behind there. All right.
The third and final video is filmed on a rainy day. Beard Dude says strange things tend to happen whenever the weather gets bad. While he focuses on finishing his work in the cemetery, as rain falls around him, an object nearby suddenly moves on its own without any warning. A Reddit user named LLCJ735 shared a post after spotting something strange in a photo taken during snowfall at night. At first, it looked like a small purple shape in the image. After zooming in, it seemed clearer, almost like a cloaked figure standing there. The user shared the photo online to get opinions. Some people suggested simple explanations, like light reflecting off the snow or a camera glitch, but no one could say for sure what it was. What do you think? A Reddit user named Roadkill256 heard a noise outside and checked their Ring camera. Nothing showed up on their own driveway, but on the neighbor's driveway, a small, childlike figure could be seen sitting still and facing the house. When the homeowner went outside to check, no one was there. The neighboring house was empty, as the resident had died several months earlier. After going back inside, the camera still showed the figure in the same spot. A second check outside, even walking closer, showed nothing. By the next day, the figure was gone and hasn't appeared again, leaving them confused about what it was. In the next clip, a man named Michael says there's a ghost at his workplace that seems to enjoy messing with him. Take a look. Michael says this wasn't a one-time thing. Strange events had been happening for weeks before the video. The most unsettling moment was in the conference room, where he heard a woman quietly humming the same tune his late co-worker used to hum. At first, he thought someone was nearby until he realized the sound was coming from a speaker system that wasn't even turned on. Now Michael believes whatever is in the building has attached itself to him. Some think it could be his former co-worker's spirit, while others believe the building itself is tied to something disturbed long ago. For now, whatever is happening doesn't seem to be stopping, and the case remains unexplained. A woman in Mexico shared images from her home security cameras after noticing the same figure appearing in her backyard multiple times. The footage shows a human-shaped figure that looks like a woman wearing a white gown with long black hair. In most clips, the figure stands still in the yard. In one image, it appears faint and partly transparent. The woman says she ruled out lighting issues and camera errors. So, was it just reflections or repeated sightings of something we still can't explain? This video was filmed early one morning inside the home of a woman named Misty Huron. At first, nothing seems unusual, so watch closely.
Do y'all see what I mean? I mean, literally, I try to be done. I don't talk about it. I don't do all the things. And this is 7 a.m. on a Wednesday, and my light is just having a freaking party on its own, just trying to make breakfast, make lunches. Here's my switch and whatever remote, and here we are. Happy Wednesday, y'all.
At first, what you're seeing might look like a simple electrical problem, like bad wiring or a faulty switch. But there's more behind it. Misty says strange things have been happening in this house for a long time, and taken together, they're hard to ignore. While Misty and her family were on vacation, a neighbor told her that every night he drove past, he saw the lights turning on and off, even though the house was empty. On another day, Misty asked that same neighbor to unlock the front door so a housekeeper could get in. He said he did. Minutes later, the housekeeper called in a panic, saying the door was locked. The neighbor insisted no one else had been there. Misty also says toys have turned on by themselves, and one room is especially troubling. The family claims they've heard laughter there and seen objects move on their own. When you put together the flickering lights, locked doors, malfunctioning toys, and unexplained sounds, does it still seem like a wiring issue? You decide. Reddit users Zedfast and Loud. One shared footage their mom captured on a backyard camera around 8:52 p.m. The yard is fully fenced, and since it was mid-January, someone running around outside seems unlikely. There was little wind, but the way the shadow moves with the light feels unsettling. In the clip, it almost looks like a person running, possibly even backward. There's no clear explanation for what it is. A Reddit user and his brother were camping when a large tree suddenly fell across both of their sites. It crushed a parked car and a camper trailer, leaving both badly damaged and stuck. Thankfully, no one was injured. Later, they found the tree was rotten inside, even though it looked healthy on the outside. If it had fallen at night, the result could have been deadly. It's a reminder that trees can fail without warning, even when conditions seem calm. In June 2025, a local resident recorded this video near Enderlin, North Dakota.
Oh my God.
The sky formed a huge, spinning cloud system that looked close to turning into a tornado. It moved slowly, but it felt massive and alive. At the same time, it was stunning and frightening. Definitely not something I'd want to stand around and film. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.